Hello and welcome to another update video on Ethereum. So I'm here on the Ethereum short-term chart. We can take a quick look at the daily chart first. I have to say the market is still under pressure. And I explained in yesterday's video in detail why I'm a bit worried about price action here. There's a trend line I showed you that we have broken below, and the daily chart has not been able to break above this trend line. This trend line is on the linear chart, as you can see here, depending on how I draw it. Yeah, but if I align it with most touch points, then we broke below this trend line, so that indicates some weakness. I can always try to align it here with the wicks. In that case, then we do still hold the trend line, okay? So it's a bit subjective, but again, either way, regardless of how I draw this trend line, the pressure remains downward, yeah? The pressure remains downward for now. $3,374 is next support. Here on the daily chart, that's the 50% retracement below this level. The door opens to the lower support area between $1,820 and $2,626. I explained that yesterday in detail, that video, so not that video, that scenario, and it would likely unfold as an ABC structure. So I'm not going to go into detail here today because, again, it was covered yesterday. Just one thing I want to show you before we dive into the microstructures, the VRVP point of control, volume profiles, yeah, this VRVP point of control, which is an area where a lot of support could be found, is located around $2,500. So again, pressure is down. We're still waiting for a clear bottoming signal in the upper support area. But if we can't hold there, I think we could drop quite quickly. All right, do you see that? Do you see that? There isn't much there below the upper support area in terms of support. Until we hit lower support, there is an insufficiency there. VRVP, no historical volume there. This can break easily, okay? And I mean, I'm not saying it breaks easily, but if it breaks, it can go. The momentum can be quite quickly to the downside, can unfold quite fast, quite rapidly to the downside. So just something to be prepared for. For now, the local pressure is downward as well. Even though I'm still watching for upside signals, I think the risk for lower remains high. And there are a few reasons for that. First of all, we haven't seen any break above 4,400. Yeah, I mean, yesterday I read a comment of someone who said, like, yeah, but you predicted another high or something. And I said, I mean, these videos are not predictions. That's one thing. They're not predictions. I tell you what the support levels are, what the resistance levels are, what ideal targets are, if the structure holds, yeah, and it only holds as long as we're holding $3,374. But you need to listen to all the words in the videos. They are carefully selected. Honestly, I mean, nearly no word is wasted, okay? Honestly, they are all important. So for the last few weeks, I've been telling you we have no bottoming confirmation here. So of course, we have a larger degree thesis, but this thesis only gives us the levels, and then we have to pay attention to the levels to see if a local setup emerges that will send the price higher. There is no such setup, okay? There is no 1-2 setup where the wave 1 was a 5-wave move, and we need that as a high probability setup. There hasn't been in recent weeks a high probability setup for higher prices. The only one that we saw was after the September low, a 5-wave move up, but it couldn't hold a higher low. That invalidated a local upside setup, but you know that, talked about it. And since then, there hasn't been any bullish setup. And what we wanted to see as a first signal that the price is going higher is a break above 4,400. In other words, I can make it as simple as possible that everybody gets it. But without a break above 4,400, pressure remains to the downside. We can track upside scenarios, but without the 5-wave move or upside momentum and a break above 4,400, there is no signal, okay? So that's very, very important. But that message has remained consistent over recent weeks, specifically since that 10th of October low, which is already 3 weeks ago. So everybody should know it, right? Everybody should know it. But I mean, I know people still, it's like selective listening, but listening is a skill. But it's very important because I encourage people to listen to. That's the problem. People come in like TikTok culture. They listen to a minute of the video, right? They look at the chart, the count, and they think the count gives them all the information. But the count, they're just labels. right? The qualitative analysis, that's what I deliver here in the videos, and every minute is important in these videos. I don't waste a minute, right? So it's very important. So I don't have enough time to waste time. I don't have enough time to waste it in these videos. So I really try to come to the point. And even that explanation just now is important because I want everybody to get it. But people don't get it because I see it in the watch time of the videos. People come in, they look at the count, and they leave, right? But they didn't get the message because they didn't spend the time to try to understand the analysis. And that is what frustrates you guys, right? Because you think that I tell you something that I never did, yeah? Because you don't understand the message of the video. So important. I know most of you guys follow and understand the messages, but a lot of people just come in and they don't listen to the words, and that's so important, yeah? You can even activate subtitles if English isn't your first language. Activate subtitles, right? Captions, you can read through it. You can download the captions, whatever. It's all there. Download the captions, ask AI what I tell you. You can do that as well, but make sure you choose a good AI anyway. So here, pressure remains to the downside, and there is no... yesterday I shared, for example, a resistance area with you, but it was never broken. So pressure remains downward. We are now testing this previous swing low from the 10th of October. The next support is 3,374. Without a break of the last swing high here that happened overnight, 3,658, there is no sign of a more meaningful recovery bounce. I mean, the only... Hold on, something is off here. The only possible bullish, let's say short-term bullish count I see from here is if the X wave, which I label as a triangle, is actually still unfolding. This would be basically Bitcoin's orange count if you watch the Bitcoin video, where we could form a larger ABC structure to the upside, which would then represent an extension of wave X. Hold on, where is it? So we need to have a count that tells us what is going to happen if we break above this last swing high and see some upside momentum from here. Well, it could be an ABC structure in wave X, basically this X wave, not a triangle, still unfolding, right? But again, we would still probably stay below 4,400. You see, it all comes together. The 4,400 level remains key. So that's the update on Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then check out our X channel as well for additional charts, news, updates, and much more. I'll leave a link in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our Gold membership, and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area.